Well, welcome to the Daily News Show. Two stories for you today, not four, two stories for you today. One, we'll be talking about Naby Keita, and two, we'll be talking about Phil Coutinho. So I'm going to get straight into the Naby Keita news first and foremost. Everywhere you look on social media today and in the newspapers is talking about Liverpool having to spend around £50 million on Naby Keita if they want to prize him away from RB Leipzig. Look, we know Leipzig had a great season. The season just gone in the Bundesliga, challenged for the title. Obviously didn't make it in the end. Bayern Munich kept the order that has been the order for, well, since Klopp left the Bundesliga, to be honest. So Naby Keita, box-to-box midfielder, a Guinea international, a guy that, we've previewed a couple of times now on our subscriber shows. If you've not checked them out and you like the Redmen TV, you like what we do, it is all because of the support that we get from our subscribers on the redmentv.com. It's £2 a month, show your support, get loads of boss content in return, so you can go and do that. We've done loads of shows on transfer targets and players Liverpool could be linked with and what type of players they are. We've done our research, we've watched the tape on Naby Keita, so we know what type of a player he is. And for me personally, not to go too in depth on him, but a real talent. He's one of those players. Everybody's talking about Kante 2.0 and stuff like that. He's just a great midfielder, and I think you've got to forget the Kante comparisons, to be honest, because look, Kante at the moment looks like a one-off. He looks like one of those sort of, I hate to say it, but generational talents that comes in and changes the way that people play that position, much like Chelsea had with Claude Makelele, and now they seem to be having exactly the same with Naby Keita. Look, I don't think that if Naby Keita was to come in, he'd necessarily come in as a defensive midfielder. I think he could play the defensive midfielder role. Of course, he's got that ability to get sideline to sideline, hustle and grab the ball, but he's great with the ball. He likes to go past the man, a bit like Moussa Dembele does as well, to be honest, because, Dembele's 70-odd, I think it's 76 take-ons this season from that midfielder role for Tottenham. So, I see Naby Keita as more that type of a player. Maybe that missing link between the defensive midfielder and Adam Lallana or something like that. There's a role in this team and in this squad for Naby Keita, certainly. £50 million is what's being touted at the moment. Leipzig have come out a couple of times, the manager's come out and the chairman as well, and have said, they don't want to break this squad up. They're going into the Champions League next season and they want to keep that team together and they want to challenge and they want to keep on challenging. And look, if you know anything about Red Bull as a sporting company, not just the drinks, you'll know that they want to challenge at the top of everything that they go into. That is their deal. And they have done that. They've proved that they can run successful sports teams. The Formula One, 4 World Championships on the bounce and stuff like that with Sebastian Vettel. Now they've had a bit of a sticky patch in that, but that's a sport that's very up and down. And since the engine, what am I talking about Formula One for? You don't care about Formula One. I'm talking about Naby Keita. Look. Supposedly, the Echo believe that we'll have to spend £50 million to get Naby Keita. And if that's the case, we're looking at £50 million for Naby Keita. We're looking at £50 million for Virgil van Dijk as well. There's £100 million we'll be spending on two players. Now, that is mental to go into a summer thinking that Liverpool could potentially do that. And yet, we've still got holes in that squad that could potentially need fixing. For me, I want to see a striker at the club as well. And is this a sign that FSG are moving and understand that, to compete at the very top level of the Premier League, then we need to spend the money to do that. And I personally hope that it is. I'm sure there's loads of people out there that all hope that that's the case, and there'll be loads of people who think they're not going to do that. Let me know in the comment section what you think this summer means to Liverpool and how you think FSG will have learned from their previous years in charge, and whether you think that they will, in fact, spend £100 million on two players and none of them being a striker. Second story of the day, Coutinho to Barcelona again. We'd all know it's a bit of a mad one. It's a non-story again, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, the sport paper over in Spain has spoken to the Brazil manager, and he said Coutinho would be ideal for Barcelona. And he also said that I'm talking in hypotheticals here. So there's no strong links, but the story seems to be gathering pace again. And this sport, 5 times in May, they have featured Coutinho on the front cover of their paper, linking him to Barcelona. He's been the cover star to that paper more than any other player in 2017, which is just mental to think. 5 times in May alone. Leave our Phil Coutinho alone, please. He's not going anywhere. We have no intentions, I don't think, of selling Phil Coutinho. I don't think he's got any intentions of going anywhere. He loves this club, he loves this fan base, and he loves this team. He loves playing with his mates, and that's what I think Phil Coutinho loves more than anything. If you agree or disagree with anything I've said, let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to drop a thumbs up on the video and subscribe if you're not already. Well, welcome.